I've gotten a 90% average on all of my tests, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. Before I start, quick disclaimer, I have to tell you that I'm in the health science field, specifically dental hygiene. So I'm not in economics, I can't do math, physics, you lost me. I'm not in the social sciences, I'm not going to tell you how to think critically. If you're studying abstract concepts like morality or the meaning of life, if you're in the arts, I cannot draw a stick figure, I can't help you. Health, science. That's it. If I'm not the girl for you, I'm so sorry. I do hope that you find her though. If you have any questions about anything that I speak about today, if you want me to clarify something, leave it in the comments down below and I'm gonna answer your questions as soon as I can. So now, what you're actually here for, how to become your own academic weapon. I'm gonna give you a little bit of tough love. You have to take responsibility over your own academic success. There's no magic pill or elixir that's gonna give you all of the answers. That's just not gonna happen. You have to put in time and you have to put in effort. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. No. If you want success, you have to put in effort. Period. It requires time, dedication, and sacrifice. But that doesn't mean you can't have fun. Academia is all about time management. There's just too much going on, and so what helps me keep track of everything is using a planner and a calendar. I would be empty without my daily planner. With everything that I've given my daily planner, it's become a horcrux. It's a part of me. It's like my second arm. If I don't have it, I'm lost. Lost! Before I do anything in the morning, I sit down and I put everything that has to be done that day in this daily planner. And you don't necessarily have to complete everything because sometimes life is just lifing and you just don't have time to do everything that you have planned. So what I do is every morning I look back at the previous day, and what I didn't do the previous day, I put it down for that day. So I never cross anything off without knowing for sure that I did it. And if I don't cross it off, I just put it in the next day, and hopefully the next day I get to do it. Every month I put all of my important dates in the calendar. So if there's assignments due, if there's homeworks due, a doctor's appointment, everything that's important to do, I put it in the calendar so I don't forget. So the first of every month I look at the syllabus of all of my classes and I put down on the calendar whenever an assignment is due, whenever a homework is due, whenever we have a test. Everything is laid out for me in the syllabus, so I just put it down on my calendar for that month so that I'm aware of everything that's gonna go on that month and so that nothing ever surprises me. We had a test for radiology on Wednesday, and on Tuesday I was talking about it with one of my fellow students, and somebody who was listening said, "Wait, we have a test for radiology?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we have it tomorrow and it's worth 15%. They were really shocked and they only had one day to study for the test. I have no idea what they got on that test, but I know that I did really well because I give myself time to study. In your calendar or in your planner, you can definitely set aside time for fun. It's important to have fun, but when you set aside time for fun, you need to keep in mind that you also need to set aside time for studying. Now, here's what I do when I sit down to study. Cue cards are my everything. I would do so much worse if I didn't have cue cards. A big part of being a health science student is memorizing. It's all about memorizing. Using cue cards is the best way that I've found to do that. So I sit down, I take time to write important concepts that were spoken about in the previous material, whether it's different concepts, process, definitions. I write whatever I think is important on the cue cards. And if your teacher gives you a study sheet, that's a bonus, but you still have to go through what they say you should study for the test and go through your notes and write down what the answers are and write down all of the concepts on the cue cards. Once I got all of the material down, I go through them sections by sections because sometimes there's a thick stack and it's intimidating. So I go through it in sections, and how I section my cue cards is going 3 at a time. I go through the 3 cue cards until I feel comfortable with what's written on them. I read and I reread until I have it locked down, until I can say what's written on the cue cards without looking at it. And once I can do that with all 3 cue cards, I set them aside and take 3 more and do the same process. Once I have the 3 new cue cards memorized, I take the 3 that I set aside and put them all together. So now I have 6 cue cards. Then I go through the 6 cue cards and make sure that I've memorized everything and that I remember everything. And once I have all 6 locked down for sure, I add 3 more. Go through the 3, memorize the 3, and then add the 6 cue cards, making 9. And then I make sure that I have all of the 9 cue cards ready and locked down. Put the 9 aside, take 3 more, go through 3, 12, so on and so forth. I keep stacking them until I'm halfway. Once I reach the halfway point of my total cue cards, I take the half that I just finished, put it aside, and restart the process with the second half, 3 by 3. Same process, 3, memorize, put them aside, take 3 more, make sure I have the 3 new ones memorized, take the ones I just memorized, make 6, go through them, take 3 more, make 9, go through them, so on and so forth until I reach half of the second stack. So it's half of the second stack and 1/3 overall. So once I reach half of the second stack, I take them, add them to the first pile, and go through all of those cards. So now in this stack, you should have 3/4, and in that stack, you should have 1/4. So once I know that the 3/4 is memorized down, I take the 1/4 and do the same thing and memorize them all. And once those are all memorized, I add them to the stack, and now I've memorized all of my cue cards. Once I memorized all of my cue cards, I go through them one by one, making sure that everything is locked down in my brain for sure. Once I make sure that everything is memorized for sure, I shuffle all of the cue cards and go through them at least one more time and make sure that I have everything memorized no matter the order that they're in. Because sometimes if they're in the same order, some of the answers that you know are coming are in the previous answers that you just answered. So now that they're all shuffled and they're all in different orders, there's really nothing that can help you except your brain. That's my method. That's how I get good grades. It's very repetitive, but for sure I know that I have everything memorized so that I'm ready for the test. All I do is repeat the material until it sticks, and it eventually does. And once it sticks, it can't really be unstuck. I've done well on all of my tests so far, and I plan on continuing to do so by using this method. I hope you try this method out. Let me know if it works for you. If it doesn't, let me know if you have any questions about it. In academia, especially in the program that I'm in, it's really all for one for all. We're really all in this together, and I want you to succeed. So if you try my method, let me know, and if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments, and I hope that I can answer any questions that you have and anything that you want. And you can also subscribe to follow my journey as a student in my mid-20s. I will see you guys in the next video. Good luck. My voice, I'm tired of talking. It's been 16 minutes talking. Let's see. Oh, I bit my fucking cheek. Okay, it's fine. Oh my god, I've been talking for ages.